What's not to love about Greenville? Falls Park, local restaurants galore. Well, according to locals, there's a few things to not love about Greenville. Curious about what those things are? Keep watching.
Have you noticed what big stars real estate agents have become?
Salutations, good people. I'm Josh Oglesby with Upstate SC Living and Real Broker LLC. While there's a ton to fall in love with when it comes to Greenville, South Carolina, I'm going to be your top of the list bad Amazon review that everybody wants to look at to find out the truth. As always, if you're planning to make a move to South Carolina, my contact information will be right here. Don't hesitate to reach out. I'll talk to you. Let's go ahead and dive into what locals have negative to say about Greenville. Kick your shoes off. Stay a while. The first and probably the biggest gripe that locals are going to talk about is the traffic. Now, it's no secret that Greenville and the surrounding areas in Greenville, especially just north, has had its fair share of ongoing construction. That's construction to the highways. Now, I could pull up facts like I normally do and give you statistics, but you don't have to look very far. Just talk to anybody who lives in or around Greenville within probably an hour who has to pass through Greenville at some point during their day, and you're going to hear them probably not speak too highly about the traffic conditions during peak hours. Yes, Greenville is a growing city, and with that growth is going to come some growing pains. So it's important to keep that in mind when deciding if Greenville is the right city for you or not. Not only that, if you want to gripe from a local, the drivers, I mean, do they know what those little white lines mean? They just keep coming into my lane.
You see this? You see this? These are lanes. Stay in your lane. Okay, just stay in your lane. That's all I ask.
But again, just like with any big metro area, you're gonna have these issues, so this might not even be a concern for you at all. And with Greenville being a growing city, there are some areas of Greenville that have not yet been developed as other areas have been. Greenville has came a very, very long way in the past 10 years. However, there are some areas that may not be as desirable that are visibly going through these growing processes. And while there may be an opportunity to purchase, say, some real estate that's currently being developed that's going to be at a higher value later, and it is a good investment, you are going to have to sit through these periods of maybe 1 to 5 years, depending on where you're at, before you see those returns on your investment with new real estate. However, that being said, there are plenty, and I mean a plethora of areas that are already developed, good to go, and surrounded by 20 restaurants. All that to say, there's somewhere in Greenville that will more than likely appeal to you. With Greenville being the metro that it is, you would think there would be plenty of public transportation. While there are some bus routes in Greenville that can get you from point A to point B, the city's transportation system is relatively limited compared to larger cities. And if you rely on public transportation to get around, this could be problematic. Unless you're living in the age before Uber, pick up your phone, make an appointment, get an Uber. Problem solved. You're welcome. Folks, whether they're inside the state of South Carolina or outside looking to relocate to Greenville, may be concerned with its cost of living. Greenville does have a higher cost of living compared to the national average. This was not the case 5-10 years ago. Because Greenville has grown so much, the price tag has grown as well. How do you keep down that high cost of living? Maybe consider looking at towns around Greenville that are only, 10, 15, 20 minutes away from Greenville. You still get the perks of Greenville without that hefty price tag. Towns like Easley or Simpsonville, maybe even Greer. The next thing that might be a point of concern is the weather. Greenville does have a subtropical climate, which means it's going to get humid during the summer. Now, with these humid summers also comes mild winters, which some folks may find very pleasant, depending on where you're coming from, of course. Now, even if you're coming from within the state of South Carolina, you've got Charleston, which is going to be a lot more humid during the summer. Now, my personal experience when it comes to humidity, this has been my experience in life. starting from the least humid to the most humid. San Diego, Greenville, South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina, Miami. Overall, Greenville's weather is very pleasant. However, when the seasons are changing, you may have 80 degrees one day and negative 4,000 the other. You may have super cold mornings and extremely, well, comparatively speaking, humid, hot afternoons. However, when the weather does finally make up its mind, once it gets settled in its own season, it does tend to stay in its lane. Unlike Greenville drivers.
Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane.
Now, if there's anything that I've missed, let me know in the comments below. Are you a local? What is your gripe? If you live from out of state and you visited, let me know what your issue is. This may very well help somebody else making a decision on whether or not to move to Greenville or not. Personally, I absolutely love Greenville. Yes, it's got its issues as it is such a massively growing city, but you're going to find that with just about any metro area the size of Greenville. It's important to keep in mind that these are just a few simple drawbacks that every city is going to experience, more than likely at some point. And it's important to remember that everyone's experience living in the city is probably going to be different based on your preferences. If you'd like more information on South Carolina or what it might look like making a move to South Carolina in more detail, don't hesitate to reach out. I'd be more than happy to help. My information will be right here, and there'll be a link in the description and on this channel's page on how to get in touch with me. There's multiple ways, really. You have no excuse not to find me. I've been Josh Oglesby with Upstate SC Living and Real Broker LLC. That's Dempsey, and I hope that this video provided some sort of value. If it did, remember to leave a like and subscribe and click that bell notification for more tips on South Carolina. We'll see you in the next video, and remember, do enjoy yourselves. Go that way.